If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And we are back here on Katz and Cosby. And right now, the Democrats will not fund the Department of Homeland Security, which is amazing considering all the threats that are happening to this country. Well, who better to talk about it than the former acting ICE director, Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, can you believe we're in a situation now? They won't even meet to discuss funding. And you know how big the threats are right now.
Yeah, I have to say I can believe it because the Democrats are just so radical on this immigration issue that they will do anything to prevent deportations, which is essentially what they're doing. They're doing it under the guise of wanting reforms to ICE. But what they in fact want, which we've seen all along, is they don't want illegal aliens being deported. But it's so shameful that they're doing it, one, under this pretense of something else, but also the fact that we are under, we could be under attack. We have an increased security alert. And these, we rely on all these people to keep us safe. And you think of, things like TSA, their primary role isn't to inconvenience us at the airport, but it's to keep us safe. So, you have all of these things. We are less safe, and the Democrats really don't seem to care. It's almost like, and I think, in my view, Minnesota, a lot of it was to make the American people suffer. So if they're suffering, they believe, the Democrats believe, that will get taken out on Trump and the Republicans. It's so cynical, but it really just shows the Democrats really don't have any sort of positive outward message to give, and it's all about disruption, subversion, all to our detriment as citizens in terms of national security and public safety.
Yeah, big time. And we also have Craig Eaton with us.
Jonathan, I was the Republican chairman here in New York for 12 years, and it's really even more than that. It's all about the midterms. The Democrats are out there just trying to make sure that we lose the Republican majority in the midterms. So they're going to do everything they can to cut down Donald Trump, to cut down the administration, and to cut down the Republican Party.
Yeah, that is such a good point because and they don't have a positive agenda to put forward. So it's like, yeah, let's make things bad. And if something bad happens, national security wise, public safety wise, they believe that will be attributed to Donald Trump. And it's so cynical what they're doing. And, there was a day, and it wasn't that long ago, I would say sort of after 9/11, where the political parties sort of came together when they're threats of, national security threats, wars, things of that nature. And those days are far behind us, which is so sad. And we're all worse because of it.
Jonathan Fahey, former acting ICE director, what do you make of the fact the big change at DHS with Mark Wayne Mullen now, of course, the choice for President Trump?
I think it's a really good choice. And I think, some of the stuff that, Kristi Noem has gotten heat about, again, it's sort of the same Democratic playbook. They were actually upset that Kristi Noem was deporting people and our border was secure. And if you objectively look at what she did, our border crossings are down, 95%, about 3 million or so people have been either deported or self-deported in the aggregate. So she's been tremendously successful. So I hope one thing that I think he'll bring to it, I think sort of the business background as well as sort of he's established at this point on the Hill. So hopefully they'll have a tougher time sort of attacking him. And if the Democrats sort of take the same tactics, it becomes, it was just the Democrats all along. It wasn't Kristi Noem or anything else. So I think he's going to continue it, and I think with the additional resources, we're even going to have more deportations of illegal aliens this year. I hope they go after these sanctuary cities as hard as they can go. But I think our border will remain secure, and they will, prevent, we'll continue to see these drug deaths continue to drop because it will be harder to get drugs in here. So I think it's a good pick, but I also think she did a great job. And I think, I think a lot of people recognize it, but a lot of people, she was sort of the Democrats' foil on this issue, but the real issue wasn't her. It was the substance of what she was doing.
Jonathan, thank you very much. You're right. And listen, the Democrats seem like they would oppose anything. They still said, they want all DHS reform. They're not happy with just the change there at the top. Jonathan, thank you very much. And pray for our men and women out there. They're doing a tough job to protect all of us. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.